take a deep breath, say something nice to yourself, then you can take a seat. Okay. So, as was mentioned, I have a background in economics. I spend a lot of time talking about money. But more than that, I want you guys to know that I'm a wife and that I'm a mom. That those are my biggest achievements, I think, and the things that I'm the most proud of. So today, I really want to share about money. It's a topic that women often don't want to talk about. We are too modest when it comes to money. And today I want us to change how we think about money a little bit. So the first question that I want you to ask yourself, or to write down, to ask yourself later, is what is my current relationship with money? What is your current relationship with money? Do you talk to each other? Who's the master of whom? Who leads who? Who makes the decisions? Ask yourself. Because it's very, very important. And the key thing that I want you to take away from today is that money is a tool. You are the master. And it is important that you put money in its place. So that's what we're going to talk about. In order for us to really position that relationship well, it's important for us to understand that money and anything connected to money is governed by principles. They are rules. The same way that with life there are rules. So what goes up must come, right? Gravity. You get in what you pour out. There are principles that are linked to money. And in order for you to be able to be successful when it comes to money, and we'll talk about that more, you must apply certain principles. I'm going to speak more from a Christian perspective, but I really believe that a lot of these principles are echoed in the world. The first principle is stewardship. Stewardship. To be a steward means we are watching over something. We are taking care of something, right? For those of us who have got children or who have got a business, you are a steward. For those of us in a body, you are a steward. You have something that is not necessarily yours, but that you are in charge of. That is stewardship. In order for us to become good stewards, we must understand that we are completely unique. You are completely unique. And so is our relationship with money. I didn't ask you to share what your personal relationship with money is, because it's not relevant to me. It's relevant to you. And that's the first thing that you have to understand when you are stewarding something, is that you are stewarding it uniquely. Stop focusing on what other people have been given, especially when it comes to money. Stop. Focus on what you have been given. Focus on what you have been entrusted with. I'm going to share a verse, and that verse is from Matthew 25, verse 29. I'm going to share it from the Amplified Version. And it says, "For to everyone who has and values his blessings and gifts from God and has used them wisely, more will be given." You've got the gifts. Do you value your personal gifts? Have you identified them? Do you use them wisely? Only then will more be given. Are you taking care of it well? and he will be richly supplied, so that he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, because he has ignored or disregarded his blessings and gifts from God, even the little that he has will be taken away. That's stewardship. If you cannot steward the little that you have, you will never be able to steward more. I say this all the time when I talk to different teams. If you cannot manage $1, you can never manage 10, and you cannot manage 100. That's the first principle. I'll give an example. This example has to do with a $5 gift. So you have been given a $5 gift. You've been told that with that $5, you're supposed to use $1 for transport. You're supposed to use $2 for a meal. And the other $2 you're supposed to buy a gift for a loved one. That's $5, right? You and I, we both have $5. We go to Chicken Slice or Chicken Inn, and we see a 2-piecer, and it's going for $2.50. And I convince you to buy a 2-piecer for $2.50 because that's what I want to do with my $5, and you do it. What have you done? You haven't been a good steward. You've missed the mark. Then what? Are you going to now walk home? Are you going to be able to buy the same gift you were supposed to before? No. It comes at a cost. So whenever we fail to steward that which we have been entrusted, it comes at a cost. And with that, I will say the master of great poverty and frustration is comparison, it is discontentment, and it is distraction. If you compare, if you are distracted, if you are not content, you will lose that which you have. So focus on what you have been given to steward. Focus on your gifting and make the very most out of it. And each according to his gifting, even in a marriage. You know, even when we're talking about finances in a marriage, do you know that the maths we use in marriage is different from the maths of the world? In a marriage, 1 + 1 is not 2. It's 1. Because when we come together with somebody in a marriage or in a business partnership, you are bringing together different gifts. Don't compete. Complement each other. That's the only way to succeed. And with that, following that principle, you will see multiplication. The second lesson that I want to, or principle, is around honesty, integrity, and generosity. The idea here is that you reap what you sow with your finances. You cannot reap in honesty what you sowed in deceit. It will never work. Never. You must be honest. You must have integrity. Because you will reap the fruits of those things. Somebody can come through and steal money, right? And things may look like they're going well for a season. But I'll tell you, follow that money. It will never bear fruit. It will not. Because it is against the principles of money. Be honest. Take your time. Don't compare yourself to anybody. And you will reap the rewards of whatever it is that you have planted. Don't spend what you ain't got. If you ain't got it, don't spend it. Don't spend what you have. Use what you have. But never think that you must spend or go beyond your budget. A verse to speak into that comes from Luke chapter 6, verse 38. And this one says, "Give, and it will be given to you. They will pour into your lap a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, with no space left for more. For with the standard of measurement you use when you do to others, it will be measured to you in return." That is the truth. The world will call that karma. What goes around comes around. That's what the world will call that. But it is a true principle. If you give somebody, when we're talking about generosity, from a generous, honest, pure heart, you will never lack. You will never lack. I always say this to anybody that I work with, and I work with a lot of young people. Do yourself a favor and never steal from me. And I tell them that every time you steal from me, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because I will get double what I had before, and you will lose double. So do yourself a favor, never steal from anybody. Rather, be honest, have integrity, give generously. It will come back. This speaks even when we're talking about investment. You know, women always say, "I don't know what to invest at Sheila, not anything. You tell me I'm happy, what do I do? How do I invest?" And I'll say, follow those two principles. In being honest, in having integrity, in being generous, you cannot do those things. You must be organized. You must have a plan. It's not just whatever money comes in goes out. No. Remember, money is a tool. So whenever money comes in, you give it a place. You tell it what to do. Because the thing about money is that if you don't tell it what to do, it will tell you what to do. My husband and I always fight about this. Every time we get to Pick and Pay, he says, "Do you have a list?" Sometimes I say, "Yes, I have a list," when I don't. The second I walk into Pick and Pay, I start seeing things I have no intention of buying, and I start putting them in my trolley. And then we get to the till, and he says, "Was this part of the plan?" And I say, "I didn't have a plan." Right? It's the same, particularly for women. If you don't assign your money and tell it what it is going to do, it will tell you what it is going to do. You will find yourself buying things you did not even want to buy. So have a plan. And as part of your plan, always invest. Always invest. There are many types of investments that you can make. The first one is a cashless investment. A cashless investment is an investment that doesn't require you to have cash. That investment is made to human beings. Two types of people. The first and greatest investment that you can ever make is in yourself. Invest in yourself. I want to ask around the room, what was the last thing you did for yourself? When was the last time? When was the last time you invested in yourself? What did you do for yourself?
Anything. I did my way, and the other thing that I did. Okay, I always make sure. I always make sure that every day, if I have money, every day I buy myself something and treat, be it a chocolate, be it sweets, just to treat myself.
You treat yourself, right? Are we treating ourselves in the way? Treat yourself. Invest in yourself. Give yourself something that no one can take away from you. Give yourself something that no one can take away from you. It is the best investment you will ever make. Guaranteed. Because it will give you a return. It may not give you a return in the moment, but it will come calling in the future. The second type of people, cashless investments. Invest in other people. You know, it's funny, sometimes we think we don't have something to give. But actually, if we give people our time, if we give people compassion, if we give people empathy, kindness, it will come back. People, the key to a lot of financial success lies in people. You may not see it then. In 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, when you walk into a bank and you need a loan, you're going to face a person. And you'll be surprised how often in life you meet people who will unlock those doors for you. There's a guy that I met, in fact, we went to school together, primary school. And I'll be honest, he wasn't the most, how do I put it? He was a funny guy, you know, that kid that no one wants to play with. And I was always nice to him. I didn't know why. But, you know, something that my parents had always told me. Just be kind. This guy has unlocked so much opportunity for me today. And he always says, you were kind to me when no one was kind to me. You treated me with dignity when no one treated me with dignity. And that happens time and time again. Be kind to other people. It won't cost you anything. Show compassion. Other ways that you can invest. Invest in your community. Again, that's a time investment. And then when it comes to money, invest in the things that you understand. Invest in the things that you understand. Oftentimes there's this tendency for us to want to follow trends, right? Right now, one of the things that has been changing is cryptocurrency, right? My Bitcoin and all that. That was changing recently. I'll tell you, don't invest in a trend if you don't understand it. Invest in something you understand. Invest in livestock if you understand livestock. Don't start a chicken project if you haven't done the research. Don't start it. Take the time to do something that you understand. Ratidzo understand it's not greater. This fast, they suffer from this disease, this. Understand it. Livestock is a great investment, particularly in Zimbabwe. People often neglect it, but it is a fantastic way to preserve your cash. Because you can convert it into cash quickly. Livestock is great. The stock market. How many of us have invested in the stock market? Right? The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. Look it up. Find out about it. You don't need a lot of money. You can open an account and put in $50. And in 6 months to 2 years, that $50 can be $1,000 because of the nature of our economy. Do the time, do the research, find out about the ZSE. I have been investing in the ZSE from the time I was 16. Did you hope you are married pockets, man? My $10, my $20. My parents taught me to look to understand the ZSE, and I've invested in it. I've bought property from the ZSE because I have taken the time to understand it. So do your research, do your homework. Land. Buy land. Zimbabwe is one of the few countries where you can still buy land. And it's not like you need to have all of the money up front. You don't. There are lots of opportunities for you to be able to get land, particularly as a young person, and you get paid over time. Find out about those opportunities. Property and all that, those are different ways to invest. A big way that you can save and invest, particularly as women, that I love and that I think is underrated, are saving groups around. How many of us are in a round of some sort? 1, 2. Why? Maybe bad experiences. Maybe somebody did something wrong, right? Remember, going back to those principles. When you're looking for a partner, make sure that they follow those principles. Are they a good steward? It will run away. If someone is dishonest, find somebody who follows those principles. Because rounds are a great way to save. Because remember, you have no access to that money at that time. For example, if you're in a round where you have to put in $10, right, every month, you are actually saving that money because you're not going to be able to access that $100 at the end. And you're saving it, but you're investing it. Because at the end of it, you'll be able to do something chinexo. So I would implore you to consider that. It's a really great way to do a lot. I know ladies who are in rounds for $50. I know ladies who are in rounds for $100, $500, $10,000. They're doing rounds. And at the end of it, they can do something good with it. But like I said, pick who you're partnering with. Honesty, integrity, good stewardship, and generous people. And then the last thing that I'll say as I conclude is you must be consistent. You must be consistent on this journey of money. Be consistent. Get the principles right. And realize that you are of value. With that, I think you will absolutely 100% reap the reward of your labor. Thank you.